Good evening, and welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities, presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
A little bit about myself. I'm a corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, two-time best-selling author, host of Authors on the Rise, speaker, Forex trader, senior vice president of operations of DMV Mastermind, co-host of the Tammy Collins Marquee radio show, co-founder of Sweetheart Scholars nonprofit, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, co-founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP, vice president of sales and marketing for Melody People magazine, sales and marketing for Swag Her magazine, and blogger and media for Black Women Hustle. Today we have my special VIP guest, Dr. Yolanda Jerry. A little bit about her. Dr. Jerry is a retired Air Force veteran, speaker, author, coach, and entrepreneur. She impacts many around the world with her passionate, bold, and fierce approach to living life. Individuals and organizations have been impacted by her powerful, relevant, and relatable messages as she advocates for truth, healing, and empowering growth. She coaches, inspires, and empowers victims and survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and youth bullying. She shares her story as a sexual assault and domestic violence survivor and what it takes to no longer be a victim, but a victor. Yolanda empowers her audience to embrace their past and grow to their next level, personally and professionally. Men and women who have been positively impacted by Yolanda's content are more empowered to create the best version of themselves and become intentional in their life's purpose and execution of their goals. Dr. Jerry is the founder and CEO of YJ Empowerment Solutions, LLC. She is the business manager for Iron MS Entertainment, LLC, and also a research specialist with the University of Virginia. She's a contributing author in 4 empowering and informative books titled When a Woman Sped Up, a collaborative book by overcomers of domestic violence, What is a Courageous Woman, the Miss CEO book for female entrepreneurs by female entrepreneurs, and Letters to Our Daughters, an empowering book for young girls. She's been featured in the Huffington Post, Chicago Now, Sheen Magazine, on the cover of Glambitious Magazine, Miss CEO Entrepreneur Magazine, and Courageous Magazine. Yolanda has been a speaker for Air Force and Navy military installations, Girl Scouts of America, the Miss CEO Entrepreneur Conference, various nonprofit organizational events, high schools, youth groups, and churches. Dr. Jerry was awarded many major awards and accolades during her 20 years in the Air Force. She served as a certified sexual assault victim advocate for 9 years when she was active duty. She earned her Associate of Applied Science degree in Logistics in 2008 and Associate of Applied Science degree in Education and Training in 2012 at the Community College of the Air Force, and received her honorary doctorate of philosophy degree and a humanitarian award from Trinity International University of Ambassadors in 2018. Dr. Jerry is a member of Tuskegee Airmen, Inc., Lawrence E. Roberts Chapter, a member of WISH, Women Inspiring Sisters Heart, and also a soror of Alpha Gamma Xi Military Sorority, Inc. She resides on the Mississippi Gulf Coast with her daughter and fiance. Welcome, Dr. Jerry.
Thank you, Miss Ashley, for having me today. I really appreciate that.
It is an honor to interview you today. So would you please tell the listening audience a little bit more about you, Dr. Jerry?
Oh, wow. I mean, my bio was kind of lengthy. I think you done told everything. But on top of all of that, though, I'm very much a very caring and passionate person who lives my life very authentic and very, transparent. So a lot of times when people come in contact with me, what they see is what they get, not just on social media and the internet, but even in person. Some of my hobbies that I love to do is traveling. I love motorcycle riding. People look at me and they say, "You ride motorcycles? You don't look like it." I'm like, "What is a motorcycle supposed to look like?" So I also love reading, spending time with my family, my church family, and also just taking time out to pamper myself and show my own self some self-love. And then, of course, my favorite thing to do is I love to eat. Yes, that's what I said. I love to eat. I just love to eat different foods. So if you follow me on my social media, and you'll see I post pictures of my food all the time, and then people be like, I just know you didn't just post that today. But that's my hobby. That's what I enjoy doing.
Well, that's pretty awesome, Dr. Jerry. So let's talk about your entrepreneur journey. I know that you're working corporate by day and you're an entrepreneur by night. So could you tell us a little bit more about your entrepreneur journey, how it got started, and where you are now with it?
Sure. So my journey initially started actually after I retired from the military. When I retired from the military, I immediately went back to work, but I went to work, of course, my corporate job. But the entrepreneur journey part of it was when actually my father, he actually fell ill, and so during that time, it kind of started out slow, in the spring of 2017. And I started out as an actual author, and I started sharing my story with one of the very first books that I started out with, talking about, my experience as a domestic violence victim and how I am a survivor. When my father passed in August of 2017, there was, after he passed, a lot of people go through this grieving process. But the fact is, I actually not saying I'm still grieving today, but not as many people would view this big thing about grieving. There were some conversations that stuck with me that I had with my father, and those conversations that we had, even up until the week that he ended up passing away, there was one thing that he said to me, and he said, Don't stop what you was doing before I got sick and what you have a passion for. He wanted me to continue to soar even after he passed. And so by him saying that, I told him that's what I was going to do. And so I felt like if I gave up on myself, I was giving up on him. So needless to say, once my daughter was resting and I knew my mom was good, I picked up myself and I just basically came out the door and hit the ground running. With that first book, promoting the first book. And after that, next thing you know, I have contributed to 5 books. So, that's where it actually started, writing books. And then thus that also led into me actually officially starting YG Empowerment Solutions in February of 2018. And my business, of course, with YG Empowerment Solutions is basically a life coaching business where I have programs, and most of it is tailored towards people who've been through traumatic experiences or anyone that's trying to find their life purpose but have been stuck and just trying to find their way out so that way they can go out and do the great things that, they want to do.
That is awesome. So I'm sure your father will be proud today to see that you continue to go, continue to still pick yourself up and soar and, continue to do what he wanted you to do. So I'm sure he will be proud today. And, we all, go through those different moments, especially when you lose somebody close, because I have as well myself. So I just want to commend you for not giving up and just pushing through and making it happen and, continue to do what your father would want you to do if, as if he was still here. So,
thank you. I appreciate that.
You are welcome. And I know you were just talking about your coaching program, where you inspire and empower, victim survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault and youth bullying. So during your coaching program, could you tell us a little bit more about that and what are some things that you normally run into on a daily basis with some of your clients?
So with the life purpose, I have one of them is life purpose coaching. Us as humans, we all have the desire to understand the meaning of life. And in a fast-paced society, there are many people who might be creating success but not fulfillment. So they have a feeling that there should be more to life, and they're right. Most people, when asked what makes you happy or what's your purpose, they normally don't have a response at all. So with the life purpose coaching program, I can help you conquer the conditioning and the negative patterns you might have picked up early in life. I help you determine what you are truly made of for exploring your passions and interests. Also explore and identify your talents and skills so that way you can use them to stand out. And then the other 2 things is finding meaning with your life-changing experiences and events, and also helping eliminate negative narratives by bypassing limited beliefs. I truly believe when you live a purpose-driven life, and having one is essential for an individual's success and happiness. So, that's basically in a nutshell when it comes to life purpose coaching. And I know you asked, well, what are some of the things I may find? I use a motivational interviewing type style when I am talking, to certain people when it comes to my clients, because the goal is to get them to talk more about what they want and what they want to achieve. And all I'm doing is helping them along their journey. And a lot of times people go to, and some people confuse counseling and therapy with life coaching when actually that's not the case. Those are like totally different things. So, that's what we do as coaches, is just helping you along the way. Just like if somebody's coaching somebody in football, they have the talent, but you're giving them the tools that they need to be a successful person playing football, or whatever the case may be. So that's what it is when it comes to life purpose coaching. And then I also have the trauma and abuse recovery coaching program, which I'm going to actually launch here soon. Is the group coaching program, where the main objectives of this program will be to provide an individual or those individuals with the tools needed in order to help alleviate symptoms and develop new positive experiences. Would also include developing and helping them practice emotional intelligence, giving a language to the feelings that are experienced, or simply accepting the absence of language for others. It also allows you to create new awareness, develop the capacity to rethink about a better future, where living little by little over time is actually not so bad anymore. This program will basically just be about helping individuals develop awareness of what has happened to them, truly honor the person they are today, and embracing the thought of possibilities for their future. With me being a domestic violence survivor and sexual assault survivor, sometimes we go into this little shell, like and we get real introverted. And the reason we get introverted is because we're afraid of what people might think of us, or we felt like we wouldn't be successful because we've been so traumatized. When actually that's not the case. I mean, look at me. Yes, I've been through all those traumatic experiences, but I too had to get somebody to help me. I had to start healing myself, and I couldn't do that by myself. I had to help somebody. I had to get somebody to help me with that. So basically, that's what I'm doing here, is trying to help somebody who is stuck and become unstuck, so that way, again, they can fulfill their own life purpose.
I love it. I just want to commend you for creating that space, to be able to reach back and pull forward and help someone else, that have went through some of the same things that you've experienced, and actually to prevent some people from going through some of the same things you have experienced as well. And I'm a big believer that we should have more than one coach, and the coach needs a coach as well. So
that's right.
For creating that space, because it's needed. It's definitely needed.
You're welcome.
And you're so right. I think a lot of people get the counseling and the coaching confused. You're right. So it's important that we know the difference between the two. I want to talk a little bit more about the youth bullying now. And national stats show that 28% of U.S. students in grades 6 through 12 experience bullying, and 20% of U.S. students in grades 9 through 12 experience bullying. So will you please elaborate more on these numbers and provide different strategies to prevent youth bullying? What are some strategies that you will provide to prevent that?
Okay. So those statistics, in my opinion, even though those are national statistics, they are low statistics. I'm sure the numbers, those are just numbers that are reported. There's a lot of cases that aren't reported, whether it's from the schools or whether it's from parents reporting those numbers. But when it comes to the bullying and how to educate the youth is one of those things that we should do in the community, in the schools, to show them how to handle and recognize the bullying behavior. To add to that, even some of the parents need to be educated enough, because some of the parents might not even recognize that type of behavior because it's not something maybe they haven't grown up in, or never had to have ever encountered. The best strategy that I can give from a parent's perspective is to stay involved in your child or children's lives. Not necessarily saying micromanage their lives, but in a caring and a loving way, so that way, if something is going on, your child to come
Mhm.
to you, or they won't be afraid to come to you. We get so caught up in our daily lives where we're constantly going, and sometimes we don't do it intentionally, but we forget that hey, I still need to talk to my child. I still need to, show them that I care, and I still need to be involved, so that they can come to you about these type issues. Um, and then, of course, like I say, educating the youth, in the schools. Education and
Mhm.
awareness is key, in the schools and in the communities as well. When bullying does happen, when you get this education, you bring about this awareness. When the bullying does happen and you are aware of it, then you're more apt to act on it. So, my thing is you should always make sure that you act on it and don't sit on it. As a mother who has a daughter who was bullied in middle school, I'm just glad I did notice the behavior change in my daughter and I took immediate action.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit more. You said you've noticed the behavior change, which leads into another question I would want to ask. So what are some ways to identify? What are some things that you saw in your daughter that kind of, got your attention that something was going on?
Okay, so basically bullying happens, you know, when a person hurt or scares another person repeatedly. So I'll give you a little background about that first, and then I'll tell you what happened. This type of behavior is never appropriate, and it's always intentional. Bullying is always intentional.
Right.
These type of acts can be done by inflicting, whether it's physical pain by somebody punching on them or, pinching on them, humiliating the individual in public by name calling, spreading rumors, pulling pranks, defacing a person's property, taking kids' money, because they like to do that a lot too, taking their money
Mhm.
at a property, or even forcing the
Mhm.
individual to do something or say something they don't want to do. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
and let's keep in mind some of these same behaviors can be done electronically, which we know with technology that happens a lot more often than not now.
Right.
And that's
Right.
we call that cyberbullying. This is when our
Mhm.
kids or teens either use the internet, cell phones, or any other technology. And what they do is they send hateful emails or they post rumors on social media, send humiliating pictures. You know how they like to take these pictures and they like to just put all kinds of memes on
Right.
them and all those other
Right.
things. That's considered cyberbullying too. It sends a hurtful message to an individual. So, those are just to give you the information about what bullying is. But if a person is being bullied, if you know a kid or a teen is being bullied, when we educate and when we bring awareness to these kids so they can recognize what that term means or what that is that they're going through. We should also encourage our children to stand up for themselves. Um, and by them standing up for themselves, sometimes they can be hard for a kid to do or a hard thing for them to want to actually act upon, but it could keep the bully from them in the future. They wouldn't know unless they try. But even if they try, sometimes that would actually deter the actual person, that's trying to bully them. Um, and if speaking up seems to be too hard, then walk away and don't fight back. Just walk away. Sometimes when we just give people the silent treatment, what are they going to do to you? Some of them will
Mhm.
just leave you alone. But that's just another avenue that a kid can take. Just walk away. Don't even entertain what the bullying is saying. But when you walk away, though, don't just walk away. Go find an adult. Find a teacher. Find
Mhm.
somebody that you can talk to so that they can immediately act on it and stop the bully right there on the spot. That way it doesn't happen to them again. And the kids also need to know because sometimes kids are scared to go to their parents, right, and
Right.
say what's going
Mhm.
on because they might think, well, my parents think I'm weak, or whatnot. So they don't necessarily have to go to their parents. I tell, even when I talk to kids in youth groups and at churches and everything, I say, well, tell your parents. If you don't want to tell your parents, you got aunts, you got uncles, you got godparents. You got cousins. You have all these other people that you can go and reach out to besides your parents. So don't feel like that you can't. So that way, the bullying issue can be addressed, and as well have action taken. When you tell somebody, especially the kid, when they do tell somebody, it helps them feel like they're less alone and that they
Right.
can get the help that they need and start the plan to stop the bullying from bullying. Because you don't know if you don't act on it, that person that's bullying that one kid could be bullying 5 to 10 other kids.
Right. And bullying is a big issue right now. It's very epidemic, pretty much, and it's a lot going on in schools, and a lot of kids are taking their lives over bullying, So it's something that we have to, for listeners, to pay attention to make sure we're educating our youth, to make sure we're talking to our kids, and to make sure that we're paying attention to the signs that are going on. Because sometimes they're not as honest. You have to pay attention to what's going on in their lives and be involved in their lives as well. So I commend you, Dr. Jerry, for actually creating that space to go back and reach back and pull forward to help our youth, because it's definitely needed, because that is definitely an issue right now in our school system.
It is an issue. I mean, the bullying got to the point, just to elaborate on my experience with my daughter, my daughter wanted to commit suicide. That's how bad it got. She actually wanted to commit suicide. She had a plan. She actually told the school when she was being questioned that she just wanted to take sleeping pills and she had a plan. She didn't want to hurt when she passed away, if that's how you want to put it, but she didn't want to feel the pain. She didn't want to inflict no pain on herself to kill herself. She wanted to take pills and just die in her sleep. So she already had thought this process out. So can you just imagine how that feels as a parent hearing, hearing that? And I'm just like, oh my goodness. My daughter had to get seen. She had to go through counseling. We both had to go through counseling. And the thing about it is I'm not thankful that the situation happened, but the counseling actually opened up even a tighter bond with my daughter now than we did before. We already had a tight bond then, but now it's like, it's so tight to the point to where I'm like, she's telling me everything. Some things I don't even want to hear, but I will listen anyway. Right. And I'm just so thankful to God that you caught it before it got worse, before it got to that point, even though she was at the point where she was, getting a plan together, but I'm thankful that you was able to prevent that. So that had to be a scary thing, and we have to be open to counseling too. A lot of us are scared to go to counseling. We need it. All of us need counseling, so we have to be open to that. That's right. We do. People put this big stigma on counseling is a bad thing. No, it's not. It's counseling actually helps you in life. They need to stop making it look like it's a bad thing.
Right, because we all need somebody to talk to. Because a lot of us know a lot of things that we don't want to share with other people. So we have to be able to vent to someone to be able to let it out. Because the more we hold it in, the worse it's going to get. If it's going to build up. That's right. And what happens with a bottle when it has pressure? It blows up. That's right. Yes. And so you wrote a book called Letters to Our Daughters. It's an empowering book for young girls. So will you please tell listeners more about this awesome book, Dr. Jerry? Yeah, so the book Letters to Our Daughter was a collaborative project anthology with other phenomenal authors. And so the book was inspired by Dr. Shakina Moore. As you know, the teenage years are very challenging in many ways for teenagers, specifically girls. It is a time where great changes happen in life, and with these changes comes pressure, comes worrying, the uncertainty, and also fear of just getting older and having to make decisions. So this book was written to educate teen girls, support them to make great decisions, and also help them to establish healthy coping skills, which is needed. So please go support this book, because our young girls need it. They need the mentoring, and they need that support. So I want to thank you and your awesome co-authors and Dr. Moore for writing this book, because it's definitely needed for them to continue to get to the next level, because they are our future. So please go out and support Letters to Our Daughters. How can they go support and buy your book, Dr. Jerry? So any books that I've contributed to, they can actually get those books and purchase them via my website. And my website is IamYolandaJerry.com. Pretty simple. I am my first name and my last name. And you just go right into my e-store, and the books will pop up, and then you can just go from there. So Dr. Jerry, you have been a contributing author in 4 empowering and informative books titled When a Woman's Fed Up, a collaborative book by overcomers of domestic violence, What is a Courageous Woman, the Miss CEO book for female entrepreneurs by female entrepreneurs, and Letters to Our Daughters. So please tell the listening audience more about your book, each one that you were a contributing author to. Could you tell us a little bit more about the Miss CEO book and the domestic violence book? Yes. So the
The domestic violence book is titled When a Woman's Fed Up, and that was another collaborative effort, as I mentioned, where many of these women come from different backgrounds. I was a military spouse when I was abused. You have a former NFL player's wife. You have somebody that was a spouse of someone that was in ministry. So it's different walks of life from different women in this book, and we all tell our story, share a little bit about our story, and share how we were able to come out of that situation and hope to inspire others that just because you've been abused, you can still get back up, and come out of that situation. So that's what that book is. The What is a Courageous Woman book, that book is basically giving a whole bunch of readers their viewpoint of what a courageous woman is, by different authors. Basically, us just telling you what we think a courageous woman is. And then, of course, the Miss CEO entrepreneurial book. So I wrote I was a part of the first one and the second one. The first one I actually wrote the forward in, and then the second one I actually contributed and gave my feel of what it's like to be an entrepreneur. Basically, giving you the good, the bad, the ugly, and all of the, trials and all of the, highs and lows when it comes to entrepreneurship, but from a female perspective, because it's a book written by females for female entrepreneurs. And then, of course, the letters to our daughters. Even I spoke about the bullying topic in that book, but again, there's other topics in there, to name a few, leaving low self-esteem behind, self-discovery, protect your innocence, healthy relationships, even with boys. So there's all kinds of topics in the book that are, like I said, it helps the girls, establish healthy coping skills with different things that they may face.
Amazing. So please go support Dr. Jerry's books. You can go to her website, as she stated, and you will be able to purchase any of her books. These are some awesome books about behind women empowerment and just giving back to our youth, our girls as well. So it's basically a book for everybody. So definitely go and support her. So Dr. Jerry, you are the founder and CEO of YJ Empowerment Solutions, LLC. So tell us a little bit more about your business.
So basically, we provide solutions, right? So it's basically envisioning a life after, and when you're free from violence, assault, depression. We do that by empowering victims or survivors by leading from the inside to move from a traumatic experience to confidence and self, moving forward to the outside. We offer services that support, guide, coaches, inspire, and empower the victims and survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and also bullying. We also mentor and educate and inspire the youth by volunteering in a local community and speaking with different youth groups, to include also churches. We empower people through our services, our initiatives within the community and beyond. We also do live events and various life coaching programs, as I mentioned, 2 of them. And the goal is basically to help others heal and birth what is already inside of them, so they achieve their goals personally and professionally, and in hopes to create leaders and advocates for domestic violence and sexual assault.
Amazing. So how can someone donate and support your support YJ Empowerment Solutions? How can they do that and get involved and volunteer?
All they have to do is just reach out to me. Like I said, I have many opportunities that's out there. They can contact me via my website. If they want to donate, I have Cash App, the little $ Yolanda Jerry, and also my PayPal is Yolanda@yjempowers.com.
So please support YJ Empowerment Solutions. Dr. Jerry is definitely doing a lot in the community and giving back and reaching back and pulling forward, and it's pretty amazing. So Dr. Jerry, you have been featured in the Huffington Post, Chicago Now, She Magazine, on the cover of Ambitious Magazine, Miss CEO Entrepreneur Magazine, and Courageous Magazine. So will you please share with the listening audience how one can reach these amazing accomplishments?
Oh gosh, invest in yourself personally and professionally. Basically, believe in yourself, believe in your purpose, I always say get yourself a business mentor slash coach and make sure you have a publicist. So let me tell you, my publicist is awesome. Okay, by the way, my mentors, my coaches, and my publicists, they do amazing work. I put in the work, but they push me. So you need somebody to constantly push you because sometimes you could be like, I done had enough, and they'd be like, nah, girl, you ain't done yet. You know what I mean? So, make sure you have those three things. And then also network and collaborate with other entrepreneurs. Let me tell you, the collaboration is the new thing now. Networking and collaborating. Some people always say, well, I don't want to be up in, I don't want to talk to somebody that's in the same field as me. I'm not your competition. We can do something together. We both can eat. You know what I mean? So don't feel like I never feel like nobody's my competition for one, because nobody can deliver my message the way I can deliver it. Nobody can do my work the way I do my work. Everybody has their own talent, their own skill in whatever field they are, and they deliver it the way they are intended to deliver it. So network and collaboration definitely is a must. And also educate yourself in areas that you aren't the expert in. I don't know everything. Even when I started my business, I didn't know everything business. I had to tap into and ask questions to other people. I didn't know how to start a business. I had to ask questions. So, educate yourself, reach out to someone that that is the expert and ask them to help you. A lot of times when you ask, you shall receive. If you don't ask, closed mouth don't get fed, right? So, right. Definitely ask. And then also get yourself your own dependable team. Have dependable people who will deliver and execute exactly what you need. And when they execute exactly what you need, they do it on time and they do it well. Have your good team. I don't do everything by myself. I have all these amazing ideas, but I still need a team to help me. I may look good in my pictures, but hey, it took the photographer to make me look glamorous. You know what I mean? Right. And it took the ladies to help me pose. It took my makeup artist to make my face. And my hairstylist to do my hair. So I don't do all this by myself. Have you a dependable team?
I love that. Some takeaways that I got from that: have a dependable team, a business mentor and coach, a publicist, and be able to be open to networking and collaborating. I have a question for you, Dr. Jerry. What do you think is the root cause of why people are afraid to collaborate? Why do you think people are so afraid to do that? Because, we're better together than we are apart, but some people haven't really caught on to that true meaning of what effective collaboration is.
You want to know the true answer to that?
Yes, ma'am.
One, greed is one. And then two, thinking somebody's going to steal your ideas. They can steal your ideas, but they still will never be you. So those are the two things that I see why people, wouldn't want to network or collaborate with somebody else, because they think somebody's going to steal their idea, or they're just selfish and being greedy. They want everything for themselves. When in reality, when you network and collaborate with someone, that's more partners you have to be able to push your information out for your event, for you to be able to get it out to the masses and have a bigger event than what you would probably be able to do by yourself.
Love that. And another thing that I would like to add is, we're better together. And if your dream is just you by yourself, it's not big enough, because you can't get there with just you. So I definitely agree with that. So that's something that I think a lot of us need to be more open to, definitely doing a collaboration and understanding that a collaboration is when both people are mutually benefiting, not one-sided as well.
That's right.
So what did failure teach you, Dr. Jerry?
What did failure teach me? It taught me that it's okay if I made a mistake. It's quite okay. It builds character and it makes you a better, more well-rounded individual. Failure has also taught me that if I fail, I need to get back up and keep trying until I do succeed. You're only a complete failure if you stop trying. So never give up on what you have a passion for.
Love that, because failure is just a lesson. It's just a lesson.
That's right.
It's not meant for us to stay there. It's meant for us to get up and do it again and do it better the next time.
That's right.
So I know what failure taught you. It taught you that, you can get up, dust yourself off, and do it again. What did success teach you?
Success has taught me to be humble, right? Because, sometimes people can get the big head. And I think I've always been a humble person. But sometimes people can, being in business, you see a lot of people forget where they came from. But to me, just seeing the success of other people has kept me humble because I don't never want to be the big-headed person. It also taught me that success doesn't happen overnight and nothing beats hard work. Hard work outweighs talent and intelligence, and of course, is necessary if you want to succeed. The other thing that it's taught me is that you have to sometimes sacrifice time and family, even when we don't want to, in order to reach our goal. But in the end, it will be worth it because you and your family will reap the benefits. And lastly, it taught me when you put your faith in God, all things are possible. So I keep God in the midst of everything that I do.
And a couple of things that you said that stood out to me, definitely putting God first, because none of this would be possible without him. That's definitely number one in everything. And just staying humble, that is definitely important. I'm just not saying I love to say staying humble, but I say it based off experience because I know that if you don't stay humble, God will humble you, right? So that is definitely.
No, he sure will, and he can take it from you.
Yes, he will, and I know from experience. So the staying humble is definitely important. We have to remember to not ever forget where we came from, and we always remember that somebody helped us get there, and to always remember to remain a student.
That's right.
So what can we expect from you in the future, Dr. Jerry? You have all these awesome things going on that you have that we've talked about tonight. So what are some things that we should expect from Dr. Jerry in 2019?
So let's see. As I mentioned, I'll be launching my group coaching program. Hopefully, I'll be launching that next month in March. I will also be a speaker at GLOW Youth Conference, Girls Loving Ourselves Well Youth Conference in Virginia. I am also going to be a speaker at DOZ Live Inspirational Conference in London in April. I'm really excited about that one. Yeah, because that's going to be like, I'm going to be there working, but then at the same time, like I get that stamp on my passport, so I'm excited about that. Yes. And then I have the Miss CEO Entrepreneurial Brunch and Panel in New Orleans during Essence Fest weekend in July. And of course, I got some other things and other projects up my sleeve, but I won't make that announcement as of yet.
Well, I understand the moving in silence. We all should learn it. It's definitely important. But I'm excited for all the great things that you have going on, especially London. That is awesome. Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm excited.
So with your London speaking event, can people watch it virtually, or is everything is just going to be there on site?
So you know me, I'm going to try. I'm going to ask when I find out. I'm going to try to find out if they're going to be streaming live. If not, I will ask if I can stream, from my Facebook page, certain aspects of it. If I can't stream the whole thing, but I'll get that information out. I'll make sure that it's put out there before I actually go or, prior to.
Awesome. And how can they support your Miss CEO, the Essence Festival event and the GLOW Conference in VA and your coaching event? Where can they go to your website to get these tickets as well?
Yes, if they go to my website, there is a link. If you go under my contacts tab, how you can contact me on my actual contact page, their flyers are there, and also there's a link that says, I'm not sure exactly what it says, but it's a link right up under there that you click on, and it'll take you directly to where you can go purchase those tickets.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited for what God is about to do and what he's going to continue to do in your life with you, Dr. Jerry. I know you're about to birth some amazing things. Congratulations to you. And please go support her. Go to her website and get tickets to these awesome events. And as I stated before, congratulations on the London speaking opportunity. That is big.
Yes, I'm going. Hey, it's nice to have that international up under your name now. So I'm going to check that box.
Yes. Yes, international speaker. Add it to your bio.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So please tell the listening audience, Dr. Jerry, how they can follow and contact you.
So you can follow me on all my social media. I have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And the handle is @YJMpowers. And then also on my actual website, as I mentioned, is IamYolandaJerry.com. So they can go to my website, or they can actually go to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram and just type in YJMpowers, and they should be able to find me.
Awesome. So please go follow and support her. Thank you so much, Dr. Jerry, for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to let me interview you today. Thank you. And I look forward to inviting you back on the show because I want to hear all about your London trip.
Oh, awesome. I'll be glad to tell it all. Trust me.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you so much. So I would like to give a special thanks to two of my mentors, Tammy Collins-Marquis and John Schamberger. Also, I would like to give a special thanks to Dr. Larry White Sr. and author Kimberly McLemore. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. And we will be back here again tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And the guest is on my page, and I will be announcing her again tonight. So see you all tomorrow, same time. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.